Well, we've been waiting for it. A lot of people are wondering, whatever happened to old Chrystul Kizer? Well, guess what? The Supreme Court of Wisconsin has made a decision, and the headline says it all. Kenosha DA gravely dealt huge blow from Supreme Court. Chrystul Kizer can tell jury about her being sex trafficked. We're going to talk about this article today, posted in the Kenosha County Eye by Kevin Mathewson. And by the way, you ought to subscribe to the Kenosha County Eye. If you're interested in Kyle Rittenhouse or any of the goings on there, Chrystul Kizer, for example, Kevin Mathewson has been on top of these stories better than anybody in the country. And for many instances during the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, was really the only source of credible information that we had to spurn off all of the misinformation dealt to us by social media and mainstream media. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
Okay. There they are, Mike Gravely on the left. We have Chrystul Kizer in the middle and Randall Volar on the right. Oh, and by the way, if I recall, the anti-Kyles told us that a person who has been killed by somebody else is a victim. Remember, they insisted on it. So is Randall Volar a victim? I will let them chime in. But you know how they're going to chime in. They're going to say, no, because he was a bad guy. Hypocrisy, man, it's everywhere. And it's going to be really, really high during the Chrystul Kizer trial. So let me give you a little bit of a background here. Chrystul Kizer was a prostitute. She got involved in this kind of activity when she was around 16. She posted an online ad, looking for Johns. You see, I use the old terminology, okay? Old school. Well, Randall Volar saw the ad and responded, and so they hooked up. It's not really quite clear whether they were boyfriend, girlfriend. Obviously, she's too young for him, pretty much too young for anybody. But whatever the case, at some point, Chrystul Kizer decided to do him in. So she got a gun from somebody else. I can't recall if it's her boyfriend or her brother, but she got a gun, took an Uber down to Kenosha. She was living in Milwaukee at the time. Okay, so she takes an Uber down to his house. She parties with him for about half the day and then shoots him while he's sitting in a chair. All right. And then sets fire to the house to try to cover up the evidence. Then steals his car. This is looking pretty bad. However, she claimed that she was a victim of human trafficking. I'm saying it now. She fabricated that because it was her only way of being able to get off the hook here. Whatever the case, she claimed human trafficking. There is an affirmative defense in Wisconsin that says that if you are the victim of human trafficking, you're not liable for any crimes you commit as a direct result of the human trafficking. And of course, direct result is going to be interpreted in many different ways here. So let's read on. It is undisputed that Kenosha DA Mike Gravely's incompetence and inaction allowed Chrystul Kizer to kill her sex trafficker, Randall Volar III. On the date and time that Kizer shot Volar, set his house on fire, and stole his BMW, June 5th, 2018, Kenosha DA Mike Gravely had a mountain of evidence to put Volar in prison for multiple life sentences. Instead, his office delayed charging Volar. Gravely never has, and presumably never will, say why. This is what Gravely had in his possession at the time he decided to wait longer to charge Volar with any crime. And if you read this, it's pretty disgusting. But I will make note of mid-teens. Female black girl appears to be 12 to 14 years old. They mentioned the initials of some girl, KW. She was between 14 or 15 years old at the time. female, black, 13 or 15. So you get the picture. He liked really young girls and especially black females. And of course, his relationship with Chrystul Kizer was blatantly illegal and tantamount to rape. However, rape is not enough to give Chrystul permission to kill him. It had to be sex trafficking. Gravely is saying there's no evidence of sex trafficking, but she's going to claim it. So that's where we stand. Number 15, Western digital hard drive with hundreds of videos of child pornography. All right, you get the picture. Gravely wanted to keep evidence of Volar sex trafficking out of Kizer's trial. He wanted to prohibit Kizer to use an affirmative defense allowed by state law that would allow the jury to consider her treatment by the dead pedophile, Volar. Judge Wilkie sided with the state, as he usually does. I don't know who Judge Wilkie is, but obviously he must be pro-state. The Court of Appeals ruled on June 2nd that Wilkie was wrong. Gravely wasn't happy with that ruling, and on July 2nd, a month later, asked the Supreme Court to take up the case. They agreed to. Just today, the Wisconsin Supreme Court ruled 4-3 to allow Kizer to use the affirmative defense. It's actually closer than I thought. In her upcoming trial, Kizer's attorneys will be able to argue to the jury that she killed Volar because he trafficked her for sex. You can read the entire Supreme Court decision here. I won't do it in this video, but I'm going to read it right after I get done publishing this one because I'm very interested in what exactly Chrystul Kizer has to do to get her sex trafficking story in front of the jury. Now, you may be wondering, wait a minute, the Supreme Court has said that she can. I'm not so sure. The Circuit Court of Appeals laid down some stipulations that she had to meet for the judge to consider before he would slip it into the instructions to the jury. Maybe that has changed. I haven't read the Wisconsin Supreme Court ruling yet. We'll see. All right, finally, Gravely had the following to say about today's Supreme Court ruling. I am pleased that we have clarification on the law, yeah, I bet you are, and the meaning of directly related within the law. Okay, so directly related, that's the term that's going to be very important. I expect the case to now proceed forward to trial based on our review of the evidence. And I have a feeling that Chrystul Kizer might still be in a lot of trouble. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This looks to me like a case of cold-blooded murder. Yeah, did the guy deserve it? Yeah, that doesn't mean you can do it. And so Chrystul packing a gun in her purse and then taking an Uber down to his house. Remember, she lives in Milwaukee. He lives in Kenosha. She got an Uber to go to his house to kill him. So that's going to be an issue here for the upcoming trial. So whatever the case, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. I'm going to read the Wisconsin Supreme Court decision here next to see where Chrystul stands. What you should do is go to the Kenosha County Eye. Again, I'll put a link in the description below and subscribe. It's the only way to stay on top of things going on in that county, and there's plenty going on. Like my videos, subscribe to my channel.